Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbos, and welcome to all who are here with us on this chilly evening, and to all those who are joining us via streaming. We welcome you as well. If you are streaming, if you go to the Kabbalat website, you will find a link to the online version of Mishkan Tefillah, the Siddur we're using this evening. And if you're here, you need to have a good look. And I apologize for it's a little dark. We're still working on the lights.
We're gonna get would you give more lights?
I was gonna be your agent. Hello, so, Shabbat Shalom. On behalf of the art committee, so when did you move here?
2003.
Okay, so in 2002, when we were getting everything ready to move, Sandy Berenger and I found out that they'd already made some decisions that were going to be permanent for the new space after we moved here. And when we saw some of them, we started the art and design committee that was going to pick, for credit or fault, everything from carpet to paint. And I hated the light fixtures in here since time began, since the very first day. And so I've been trying to get them changed for 17 years. And so it took us 17 years to find the right fixture.
19
years to find the fixture. So it took us 19 years to find the perfect fixtures. And then after we found the fixtures this year, took us 14 weeks because they were on back order. Took us 3 weeks to get them installed. And even though these are the right fixtures and the right light and everything's great, it's the technology that is now hamstringing us. They will brighten and they will darken and they will be magnificent. Until then, they are moody. Which so am I after 19 years of waiting for the right light. So I'm sorry that it is so ambient light, but soon it'll be stunning and exquisite every time we need it to be. So bear with. Some of us have been putting up with that longer than you have.
It'll be a Hanukkah present.
It'll be a Hanukkah miracle. Let's say, yeah, this year. Hopefully this year. Anyway, thank you so much.
Aura about it. Yeah, some of these people.
Page 131. Shir Ladonai, Shir Hadash, Shir Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shir Ladonai, Shir Hadash, Shir Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shir Ladonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, Basru Miyom Liyom, Yeshuato. Shir Ladonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, Basru Miyom Liyom, Yeshuato. Page 132. Let the heavens rejoice and the earth exalt. Let the sea and all within it thunder. The fields and everything in them exalt. And shall all the trees of the forest shout for joy at the presence of Adonai, who is coming to rule the earth justly and its peoples in faithfulness. Adonai Malach Hagel Ha'aretz. 133. Mismo Shiru Adonai Shir Hadash Nifla Osnasa Hoshialo Yemino Uzero Azro Akosh Hodia Adonai Yeshua so Leidei HaGoyim Megilat Zikato Zakar Kaso Nando Levei Yisrael Rauf Alapsei Ares Yeshua Eloheinu Yaelai Ariu Adonai Kol Haaretz B'Yitzlu Be'Ramnenu V'Zameru Daru Adonai Be'Chinor Be'Kol Zimra Be'Chatzos Rod Be'Kol Shofar Hari Lifnei Melech Adonai Yiram Hayam Blue and low, hey, bell, hey, Yosheva, Yaelai, Narod, Yafucha, Yachad Harim, Yeranenu, Lifnei Adonai, Hiva, Lishpot Haaretz, Ishbot Tevel, Tzedek, Ve'amim, Ve'Meisharim, Yai, Lai, Adonai Yivarech Elamo Vashalom. Lakadudi. We read the Shabbat Friday, page 138.
Shabbat
Page 263. Yetida Shemera. Yamad Rakir Tevian Lin Makute. Vekaye Olimyomeko. Kutaye Dakobe Israel. Bagala. Ubisman Karim. Amen. Shmera Lemora, Leolam Leomaya, Yisparak, Yiparak Vishtabat, Viparit Ramadita, Sevita, Darita, Levita, Shemedikut Shabaritu, Leilani Kobir Kata, Bashirata, Tushbeka, Sabanet, Kemasar, Yami Ramyawa, the rise evil.
Right now, we are practicing burden the maiden.
Yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Baruch es Adonai, Hamivorach, Baruch Adonai, Hamivorach, Hamivorach, Leolam Hamivorach, Hamivorach,
We did.
Roll into darkness, roll into light, night becomes day. tonight. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Go ray on, go Lord, midnight, oh, go Lord, midnight, roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Baruch atah Adonai, Amari Varani. 66. Ahavat Olam Beis Yisrael, Torah mitzvot u'kim mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu, shofeinu v'tumeinu, nasiach b'ruchecha. V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'v'mitzvotecha, le'olam va'ed. Yihem l'chayenu, v'torah yameinu, u'vahem neged, yomam v'layla. Ve'atal v'asiri menol amim, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Yai l'lai, l'lai, yai l'ai, l'ai, l'ai. Yai l'lai, 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 l'ai. Yai l'lai, 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 yai l'ai, l'ai, l'ai. Yai l'lai, l'lai, l'lai.
A lot of warmth and a lot of good talk. Yeah.
And you shall love with all of your heart, your soul, and with all of your might. You shall teach your children the hope, to love and to know what is right. Yai, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, v'chol avavcha, v'chol nafshecha, v'chol mehodecha, v'hayu hadarim ha'eleh, asher Elohim tzavaka, hayom avodecha, v'shinata levadecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shinata b'beitecha, v'ulechtecha ha'aderet, v'usharvecha u'ktuvecha, v'usharta l'ot ha'yadecha, v'hayu totachot meinecha, v'uklavtam, amezuzot b'beitecha, u'visharecha. Lama'an vizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim l'Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim v'hiyot lachem Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem. Long ago we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High. We learned God's presence redeems time and event, so we celebrate the power that makes for freedom. Moshe u'Miriam u'bnei Yisrael, lecha anu shira b'simcha rabah, v'amru chulam. Page 270. Mi kamocha nedarba kodesh, mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedarba kodesh. Norah tzivos, osei felek, Norah tzivos, osei felek, Adonai Elohei olam va'ed. Ma'utecha, ma'utecha, Lokei hayam v'nei Moshe u'Miriam, Zeheri anu ve'avru, Zeheri anu ve'avru, Adonai Elohei olam va'ed. Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedarba kodesh, mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedarba kodesh. Norah tzivos, osei felek, Norah tzivos, osei felek, Adonai Elohei olam va'ed. Amarti Adonai Yaakov Yad Chazak Yimenu, Baruch atah Adonai Na'al Yisrael. Hashkivenu, a prayer for peace, for shelter. Understanding among us, let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding
friendship be our life's source. Adonai Eloheinu, and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm. Let there be love and understanding among us. Peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
Baruch atah Adonai, Borei Sukkot Shalom Aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. Page 272, L'Shamru. Rise as able, or Milan, page 273. Adonai Sebatai Uvia Itehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Eloheinu Elohe Abraham Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor Banura, El Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Bekonei Hakol, Bezoker Chasdei Avos V'imahot, U'mevido el Ibnei B'neihem, Leman Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach Makim, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magid Avraham, Ezrat Sarah. Atagi Borle Olam Adonai, Mechayim B'chimat Harav L'Hoshia, V'shivarach Mori Hagashem, Mechalkel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayim B'Kim B'Rachamim Rabim, Tomech Noflim B'Rofech Cholim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Mekayim Emunato, Vishenei Avar, Mikavot Al Gevuros, U'Midot Elam, Melech Memis U'Mechayim, U'Masmiach Yeshua, Na'aman Halach Hayomim. Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechayim HaMetim. Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh V'Kedoshim B'chol Yom Yahallelu Chasela. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Continue with the rest of Tefillah on our own through page 282, the Hebrew or the English or your own private prayers and meditations. When you finish, you may be seated.
No, I'm joking.
Receive our prayers. May our worship always be acceptable to you. Bless with the knowledge to all who seek you in truth. Be this hour of resting. May all who suffer may all who burn find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who find fulfillment on this day. And may we all live in such a way that this day we go on this promise. Our God, our God, and God of our fathers, blessed be thy and all your people on you.
Yeah.
Shalom Aleluia, Israel. Yahweh Shalom, Yahweh Shalom, Shalom Aleluia, Israel. Yahweh Shalom, Yahweh Shalom, Shalom Aleluia, Israel. Yahweh Shalom, Yahweh Shalom, Shalom Aleluia, Israel. We say Modim Anachnu Lach. We give thanks for sources of joy and strength in our lives. So as we turn for the week of Thanksgiving, if anyone who has anything they would like to give thanks for, anything you're celebrating or grateful.
Well, I'm sure that I'm not the only one, but Jesse and Stephanie are coming tonight, which makes me very happy. And another really stupid thing, but I got glasses about 1.5 years ago, and I haven't been able to read out of them. I've had to always put them on my head, and they told me when I went back and told them I couldn't read, they told me I was old. But I finally came time for new pair of glasses, and I put them on, and I
I'm thankful for the awesome staff meeting we had on Monday. It was very good, and I'm very thankful for that.
My name is Morris Elizabeth. We're from San Diego. We're visiting, and we're very thankful to be here tonight with you.
Welcome. Glad you're with us.
we have two others.
I feel like we have to follow that. I'm Jennifer. This is my husband, William. We're also from San Diego. Visiting for Temple Emmanuel in San Diego. So thank you for welcoming us into your congregation.
Thank you for being here.
And the odds of that have to be very rare.
A little bit. Welcome to winter.
We have two more new people here.
Would like to introduce themselves?
It's Julian and Ariel. We're from Buenos Aires, Argentina. First time listening to you here. Really happy to be here with you. Very nice. We're having a beautiful time.
What brought you here from?
So I live in Israel now, and I work for Israel, and they sent me here to Boise. So that came to visit me and find the synagogue so nice. And that's be here.
Okay, I'll be in Buenos Aires in a month.
Oh, really? Oh.
He's with the San Diego theme. Our kids live in San Diego, and we're going to make us a buddy in city for the first time. We have one in San Diego.
She's a buddy.
Any other city?
I like San Diego. Who's left in San
Welcome back. So for all these things that we are grateful for, we sing Modim Anachnu Lach. We give thanks to you, Eternal One, Creator and Sustainer of life. May we overstrength the strength. May we offer our abundant praise and your blessings along the way. And let's say amen. Prayers for healing. We hold in our hearts now all those who are in need of healing, of the body, soul, spirit, and invite them to greet us. Those who are holding close at hand on the Shabbat, who would like to speak names.
My daughter Elizabeth. My brother Philip.
Spirit of all one
Betsy Green, who just had resting facility yesterday, is happy about
Harriet, Sunny, Shira.
These are for all who are in need. You can join together, and Shaberach, 371. Healing you with all who are in need, healing the body, the soul, and the spirit. So our Torah portion for tomorrow morning, Chayei Sarah, pivots us from one generation to another. It begins with the death of Sarah. Ironically, the portion named Chayei Sarah, the life of Sarah, begins with her death, and Abraham negotiating a burial place for her. And after burying Sarah, Abraham's thoughts turn to what will come next, which means he has to find a wife for his son Isaac. He puts this task on his chief servant, the head of his household, Eliezer. Now, today, one could imagine Eliezer, just presenting Isaac with a list of, swipe right, swipe left, yes, no, yes, no. But it was a little bit harder back then. And Abraham made it more difficult still because he says to Eliezer, she can't marry a local. Okay? You gotta go out of town, and I want you to go back to my ancestral homeland, to where I came from, and find a wife for him there. So Eliezer sets out on his journey. It's a journey through the desert, so he has lots of camels that go with him to take him and all of the things he needs. He doesn't know how long he's going to be gone on this journey. And Abraham has also failed to give him a list of what he should be looking for in a wife for Isaac. Isaac also doesn't seem to have much voice in this. So Eliezer has to figure out who's the right one. How do I figure out who's the right one for Isaac? And how do I identify her? So we wonder, what is he going to look for? If you are doing an errand of finding a wife, what do you see? You could look for strength, physical, moral. You could look for intelligence. You could look for beauty. And indeed, we who have read the rest of the story know that Rebecca will be all of those things. She will be strong, she will be smart, and she will be beautiful. But none of those things are what Eliezer seeks. None of those traits are what guide him in seeking a wife for Isaac. When he comes close to the town, he offers a prayer. And he says, God, here I stand at the spring, the well, where the daughters of the town come to draw water. The well was the equivalent of the hot bar in town back then. It's where everybody went and met. So he says, I'm at the well. Let the maiden to whom I say, please lower your jar that I may drink, and who replies, drink, and I will also water your camels. Let her be the one that I have decreed for your servant Isaac. And for those of us who are not used to travel by camel, it's worth noting that her volunteering, when he's asking, I want the one who will volunteer to give me water, which is a nice thing. But to water one's camels is drawing an enormous amount of water. So his prayer is answered, where it says he had scarcely finished speaking when Rebekah, who turns out to be family, born to Bethuel, son of Milcah, the wife of Abraham's brother Nahor, came out with a jar on her shoulder, and she goes to the jar, and Eliezer asks her, let me sip a little water from your jar. And she says, drink. He drinks until he is full, and then she volunteers, I will also draw for your camels until they finish drinking. And so the die is cast. She will consent to go, and at the end of the portion, Isaac will see her and immediately fall in love with her. This is the first biblical instance of love at first sight. He sees her, and as the story goes, he falls off his camel. He's so smitten with her. But we learn from what Eliezer prays that what he seeks above all else is kindness, is chesed, which translates roughly to love in action. That's what Rebekah exemplifies. She sees a stranger. She could fill herself. She could give him a sip to drink from her watering jar. But out of deep, deep kindness, she waters him and she waters all of his camels. Chesed, loving kindness, is the trait that matters above all else to Eliezer and to Abraham and to Isaac as well. And it is the one that Rebekah embodies. As we head in this week toward Thanksgiving, we live in a world that is filled with mistrust, with fear, with despair, with anger. But there are also countless acts of kindness that just below the surface sustain the world. They don't make the headlines. They don't make the network news. But there are myriads of them, small and large. Those who perform them don't get renowned as heroes. But that's what they are. They are heroes and heroines. Ordinary people doing ordinary and yet at the same time extraordinary things. The writer Barbara Kingsolver taught, nothing wondrous can come into this world unless it rests on the shoulders of kindness. Wonderful teaching. Everything wonderful and beautiful and just rests on the shoulders of kindness. And so in this moment in our portion, the whole history of the Jewish people, all that will unfold and all that who we still are, rests on the shoulders of Rebekah's act of kindness and extending her loving care to Eliezer and to his entourage. Days and weeks and months embody that trait valued above all. Including portion of the service, we rise as able for Aleinu, page 586.
So we do Lane sitting.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon ha'kol, l'kedula yotzer bereshis, shelo asan tevei haratzon, velo samanu k'mishpachat ha'aman, shelo sam kokinu kahan, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'lokim, V'chemelech malchei halachim, hakadosh baruch hu, shehu nitei shamayim ve'yosed haaretz, u'moshe yikaro b'shamayim b'mal, u'shminatu zo, v'gofei meromim, hu Eloheinu Enon, Emet Malkeinu Echasulato, Hagatu B'Torato, B'yadata Hayom, Ashevota Telehabecha, Ki Adonai Hu Elohim, B'Shamayim B'Iman, B'Haaretz, Einon, v'nemar v'haya Adonai, l'melech al kol haaretz, hayom hanu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo, We recall now our loved ones, those whose death is taken from us in recent days, those who have died at this season in years past, all those we have drawn into our hearts together with our own. I invite anyone who has a name of someone you are keeping in prayers for Kaddish this evening. Feel free to give the names of those who are remembered.
Brother Howard Stone and my father Harvey Stone.
May their memories and blessing continue to guide and inspire us. Recalling them and all we have held dear, I invite the mourners and those whose custom it is to rise for Kaddish page 590.
I rise from that.
Yitgadal, Yitgadash, Shemei Rabbah. Yalma, Dibrach, Rite, Yamlich, Malchute, B'chayekon, B'yomekon, B'chaye, B'chol Beit Yisrael. B'alav, B'zman Kareem, B'yimru, Amen. Yeh Shmei Rabbah, B'barach, B'elam, B'yalmai. Yibarach, Yishabach, Yishamar, Yishamam, Yisnaseh. Yitadar, Yitaleh, Yitalal, Shemei Kushah, B'richu. Elami, Birkat HaShirata, Tushbachata, Benachmata, Daliran, Bialman, Biabru, Amen. Hey Shalom, Rabba, Shemaya, Chaim, Aleinu, Bialko Yisrael, Biabru, Amen. Ose Shalom, Bibrumav, Yase Shalom, Aleinu, Bialko Yisrael, Biabru, Amen. The one makes peace on high, with peace is come to us, and all Israel, and all the world. Amen. Comfort and strength be with all who mourn, and let us say, Amen. I want to thank Eddie, who I think, there he is, in the back corner, for setting us up, for turning us on for streaming, and for Kiddush, which we'll do across the way in just a a moment. I want to thank Sandy. Oh, in the back. Everybody's in the back, in the dark corner. So to Sandy for our help with the music. As always, our Shabbat service tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. And the moment, for anybody who is interested in one of my other hats, my non-rabbi hat, I'm a forest therapy guide, and I'm going to be leading a walk, therapy walk on Thanksgiving morning at 10 o'clock. Let me know, and I'll get you the details. We're going to close with a little San Diego bluegrass. It's 600 yen.
That would be fun We'll see how long. I gotta back up first. I want to catch.
I'll tell you next time because I just have to go.
I think is what I want to do this time.
But I didn't tell him. He said,